this is raising questions over the organizers' oversight of Olympic participants. We've been here talking about how tight it's going to be, how you're not going to be able to move. At some point, we thought some people might even be having ankle bracelets. I think that's a joke, taken too far. But I mean, GPS and all those kind of stuff to monitor. But yet, this happens. Now, this will give those who are staging the protest a lot of ammunition to say, if this is happening, then somebody that has COVID could go to central Tokyo, Japan, Switzerland, and all of this. But the officials are still searching for the 20-year-old man who was supposed to be training somewhere near Osaka, and this happened. Let me allow us to say something. I want you to be quick. We have a lot of ground to cover, but like I said, we've gotten our first dose of drama and controversy.
Yeah, this drama, never ending, and it's just so sad when it has Africa always in it. So, just goes to tell you that when some of these guys go outside the country, they see it as an opportunity to just run because they say that's greener pasture. They didn't tell us the name of this Ugandan athlete because, of course, they are looking for him, and he's part of a 9-member team you mentioned. He's a weightlifter. He got the team was training in Izumisano in the Osaka province. They discovered he was missing when they went to look for him in his room for RT-PCR COVID-19 test. So he's gone missing, and it raises worry. It's part of what those dissenting voices are saying. What if someone tests positive and then come to join the larger community and you have problem with contact tracing? That's the problem, and that's why the IOC Tokyo officials, they begged everyone, if you come to Japan, let it be for the reason you're coming for it. The Olympics, stay within the perimeter, respect the rules, respect the COVID guidelines. And now this is happening. It's quite disappointing because, if it was the previous times when person get into countries and then they are missing, we won't get worried. But now that there's a pandemic, that there's an issue in Japan and this is happening, it's not good. It's not
good at all. Let me go to Kane in the studio. There's a broader search going on. When they looked for him and they didn't see him, they've notified the police, the monitoring him, looking at 24 hours to see whether or not. But the real question is, they are trying to know how and why he got out of the hotel.
No, it's always. I'm trying to hold myself from laughing. It always happens. They always do it. Someone is, especially from, like Austin said, especially from Africa, they will just disappear and without trace. And some of them will even seek asylum. Ghana, 2014, some of their supporters club members seek asylum in Brazil. So they like Austin said, it's not this period that this should be happening. We thought that maybe they will go to Games Village. There will be better secluded, and maybe just like a dormitory kind of lifestyle. That was my thinking. But now as it's gone missing,
we even thought it was going to be a bubble.
And securities at the exits and the distance and the entrances of the Games Village. But let's hope they get him. Let's hope they get him. Let's hope he's not positive, so that he won't spread this into the city that is already crumbling on the weight of this pandemic.
All right. Let me also get Alfred on this one as well. Alfred, from the rumor mill, a lot of conspiracy theorists are already saying, and even Austin alluded to it, even though we don't have the facts yet, we're not sure. But would it surprise you if this missing athlete turns out to seek for asylum in a day or two?
It wouldn't surprise me. The economic inequalities around the world sometimes give rise to this kind of issues. It's not the first time it's happening. For me, I think the guy already has his mind made up, and to think that an opportunity has presented itself and he wants to take it, tomorrow he might tell you that his entire village is at the brink of being wiped out by the president of Uganda. And on that basis, he wants to seek asylum there. Though these things really happen. It does happen. For me, I think the process of, I had Chika Chukwumerije when they got to Japan. there's nobody that came into Japan that wasn't tested at the airport. So I think that reduces the risk of saying it is COVID-19 positive, because everybody got tested at the airport. For you to be admitted into the bubble means that your results came out negative. So that removes the question of whether he's positive or not. And if he's had his mind made up, there's not little or nothing you can do to dissuade him from that position. And hey, if somebody tries to look for ways of unorthodox ways of looking for economic asylum, you can't. It's also part of his right.
Okay, all right. So that's it. Let's take our last story on the Olympics. One that will bring a smile to your face. How heads of states, presidents, and prime ministers honoring their athletes before they depart for the Olympic Games. Tonight is the turn of Spain. Let's talk about how the Spanish Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez, of course, hosted the National Olympic delegation of Spain before they departed for Tokyo. And of course, we all know how big the Olympics is, and you could see what it means. And even in this picture, you could see that the COVID-19 protocols were adhered to strictly. But in spite of that, I mean, the Spanish government felt that it was necessary to host these guys before they departed, because surely they're representing Spain, and they're going to bring glory, honor, and fame to the country. So a good one there, and that's going to be our last story on the Olympics. Yeah.
Just to add something, when any member of the Spanish contingent wins a medal, he's honored during La Liga games. They will come, even if let's say it comes from a city like Barcelona.
Yeah.
When Barcelona is playing, they'll call the person.
Be a timeout.
Timeout. You do the cup. So it's a big thing for them. Yeah. It's a really big thing for them. So let's wish them well.
Yeah. Let's step up how we honor our Olympians here in Nigeria.
Not waiting many years to not them.
When they're dead. All right. So that's it. Kudos to Spain for putting this together. Hopefully, there will come a time where we could have ceremonies as grand as this for athletes departing for an international event. All right, so we move on the show. It's time to talk about football. No arguments, football, king of sport. Let's come home and talk about the Nigeria Professional Football League. We are at the business end of the league. Match day 33 is upon us. Let's take a look at the fixtures. I'll allow each of my guys to have 2 minutes each to talk about what you have on screen. So let me start with Alfred. Alfred, I'm not going to run through the fixtures. You already have it. You know what you want to talk about. So just give it to me straight. What are we expecting this weekend?
Rivers United know that they can get their season back on track if they get the result against Aqua. In top 5, that's where they are. They want to improve their position going into this one. Aqua has a 5-point lead at the top of the table. They can, if they continue their run lately of not dropping points on the road, hey, it will be a massive boost for them. But even if they drop points, they still have a cushion they can fall down, hopefully go back and do that one and get the results and finish the job at the Uyo Townships, Uyo Stadium. Okay, for Enyimba International, well, with all of the problems they've had, Jidawa Golden Stars might not be too much of a worry. But for me, I think the team of the season for me is Nasarawa United. This is a team that was at the brink of being relegated last season. They've turned full circle. An exciting team to watch. I've seen them severally this season, and they have a bunch of goal scorers. They scored goals at plenty. They've scored the most goals this season in the league, and it's a team that I really like this season. Kano Pillars against Dakada. Since they lost that second position, they've been looking for ways of going back up there, because the reward for finishing in the top 2 is a place in the CAF Champions League. I think they found Kano Pillars. That's really where they want to be. And Dakada might just have a very stubborn team. It's a team that you can write up. So, an exciting week, match day 33, looking forward to.
All right, exciting match day 33. Let me get Austin's thoughts as well on this fixtures in a minute or two, same way Alfred is taking us through. What are we looking forward to this weekend, Austin?
Yeah, allow me to stay with the top 5 guys, and that's Aqua United, Kano Pillars, Nasarawa United, Rivers United, and Eimba Football Club of Aba. A big football match between Rivers United and Aqua United. And if you look at the table, if Rivers United should win that Aqua United fixture, they can start believing. Aqua United, a lot is on their hands as regards not losing that match. Either you win or you play a draw, because the momentum is on them now. All they need to do is to sustain it. But it's going to be a very difficult game against Rivers United. Kano Pillars might think they have an easy match against Dakada, and their football might just laugh at them. Yes, they've been formidable at the Amadou Bello Stadium. They've not lost any match there. They've drawn just 2 against Rangers and Aqua United. But Dakada, they've recorded 3 away wins this season. Yeah, let me say it again, that this is a team that has been admirable. They are 9th on the log. They have won 14 matches. Aqua United on top has won 16 matches. Dakada on 9th has won 14 matches. It is because they recorded 14 losses. That's why they are down there. So that's a team you must not. If you underrate that sort of team, you'll get punished. So Kano Pillars must be careful. Nasarawa, they have MFM to contend with. They are strong in Lafia, highest scoring side in the league this season so far, and it's because of their potency right there at the Lafia Township Stadium. So they might hope to get it going against MFM. Eimba, they take on Jigawa Golden Stars. Eimba will be beating themselves because they have a lot of opportunity to actually close that gap at the top of the log. But some poor results, particularly the draws they've picked in Aba, have made them, to crawl. And then Rivers United, I spoke about them. But after Aqua United, they have Jigawa Golden Stars. So if they beat Aqua and they can go away to beat Jigawa Golden Stars, the Rivers United might just be competing for the league title here.
All right. So Kane has turned to take us through what we should expect this weekend.
Well, for whatever for the purpose of this league being one of the best we've watched so far, let's show some respect to the Oriental Derby, Heartland versus Rangers. Okay. No matter where they are on the table, so that we've watched this fixture for almost 40 odd years. So they are going to Heartland losing 3-1 to Rivers United during the Atio Cup is not in Abad wasn't well for them and for their confidence. But it's a game they can just pick up a point, be amongst maybe continue searching for a continental ticket. But the game of the week, you can't take it away from Rivers United, Aqua United. Mm-hmm. If Aqua United are aiming to get to that title, this is the game they have to win. They shouldn't be drawing, but what you don't need to do is having a number breathing down your neck. Okay, so they need to win that game. Rivers Port Harcourt is not far from Uyo. It's almost like a home game to them. So they feel all the confidence. They have their players back from international engagement, so they can play this game with all amount of confidence. We are grinding down to the end of the season, so they need to get every point they need to. Another game is Nasarawa United versus MFM. MFM picked a point in the last game at home, so going to Nasarawa is guaranteed that they're going to score goals. So this is another game to look out for. But MFM this season, maybe they've tried a lot to improve on their away record, which has been their hindrances in the last few seasons ago. So it's going to be a great weekend. We are grinding down. It will be exciting to see Aqua United become champion. I pray they do.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I pray they do. They play wonderful football. And going that long, unbeaten it shows their pedigree as a potential champion. It
might happen this weekend, though.
Yes, and also Kennedy Boboyi has proved the point. Yeah. He tried to do that with Sunshine Stars. They towards the end, due to politics and everything, and also when probably the team lost form, they ended up in 5th or 4th place. But this time around, they might definitely get the title.
All right, so the guys have told you the things to expect. So when the results start coming in, I'm very sure it's not going to be too different from all of the things that they've said as we begin to look towards the end of the league. Just 5 sets of matches left to be played, and after this weekend games, we're going to have 4 sets of matches to be played before the winner is known. Let's quickly talk about Bendel Insurance and take a look at, of course, it's the aftermath of the NFF Appeals Committee decision. We're not going to, flog a dead horse. We've talked about all the things that happened yesterday. And, of course, the matches, the backlog of matches that Bendel Insurance needs to play is what we want to quickly put out so that you can see. Although we're still expecting probably a statement or something from Bendel Insurance because from the things they've said, they wanted something stiffer to happen to Remo Stars. So,
yes.
It's going to be interesting to see whether or not they are okay with the decision or whether they'll take it as far as cast, but I don't think that's going to happen.
But they have to play the games. Where the games is going, because it shouldn't disrupt the flow of the league.
Unless you're pulling out.
Unless you're pulling out, but they are not. They said they are. So
okay.
They should go ahead playing the games while
the one against Ole Arrows, July 24th. Yeah.
So they should continue playing the games. Why? If they don't like the decision that has been made, they can appeal.
Appeal it. Yeah.
And see what. But I believe I stand by them.
And Abia comments July 26th. About 3 matches.
Yes.
There's no one after this.
These are the games they have missed against
Apex Crane as well. Yeah.
So these are the games they have missed. So they can still play their games. It doesn't hurt anyone. They should play their games while they appeal. Because if they don't send this, if the NFF don't send these precedents now, another team might try what Remo Stars did, which was not. It was a sore site.
Although there's the debates in sporting circles as to whether or not the punishment was appropriate or not. But unfortunately, we don't have time to go into all of that. We need to go on the break right about now. When we return from that break, we'll be winding up. We'll be moving towards the end of the show. Let's just go on that break. We'll come back to talk about Stefanos Tsitsipas, Harry Kane, and possibly Novak Djokovic. All right. Of course, when you're talking sports, time is not always enough. I'm very sure Austin and Alfred would have loved to say a thing or two about Bendel Insurance, Remo Stars, and that decision, but that's going to be another time. Obviously not today. Let's quickly listen to Tottenham, new Tottenham Hotspur manager, Nuno Espirito Santo, talking about Harry Kane. Harry Kane has become a hot potato now. A lot of people talking about Harry Kane. They said he has told Tottenham he wants to leave. But in a press conference, this is what Nuno says about his top man.
Look, Harry is our player. That's period. No need to talk about anything else. Now is the moment to Harry to recover his energy, to rest. And when Harry comes again, we have time to speak, to have good conversations. But like I said, now is the moment for Harry to rest, to prepare for what's coming. And what's coming is, and I'm looking forward for him to join the group and start working together. I had no doubts in my mind. You know what I mean? I have no doubts. What I wish is to Harry to recover well, to have a good rest, and when he arrives, he will feel that every one of us has to commit themselves to become better. And we are very ambitious. We are ambitious people. We want to do it well, and we count on Harry on that.
All right. That's going to be the parting shot for the guys. But let me start with Austin quickly. Nuno says pointedly, no need to talk about anything else. Harry is our player. So he didn't allow the journalists poke questions at him. But quickly, in a few seconds, do you think Spurs can be able to keep Harry Kane?
I think it will be difficult. But nothing. Look, with football, it's all about, the money, and they're looking at some clauses that favors you or not. Harry Kane, established player, no doubt he can play for any of the big teams you can think of in England. But let's just stay with what Nuno said. And that was very intelligent answer by Nuno. Look, is the guy not, go and check out Harry Kane, go and carry your research. What will he tell you? Tottenham Hotspur player, and that's what he is, So not giving you room to come and speculate and hit up the media so that everyone starts talking about it. And Nuno said this and that. But it's going to be difficult keeping Harry Kane, no doubt. But I think they can actually push, and I would love to see Kane still stay at Tottenham for one more season.
Okay, all right. That's it. All right, Austin. Thanks for your time on the show. We'll get to do this some other time.
Thank you. Always a delight to be on the show.
All right. Let me go straight away to Alfred Okoligwe. Alfred, do this for me quickly. Do you think Spurs will be able to keep Harry Kane?
It will be interesting to see how, with the likes of Manchester City hovering around your player, how you'll be able to keep a player happy and how you'll be able to keep that. Because there are teams that it's guaranteed in the league that they can win trophies. I think the only thing playing out the mind of Harry Kane is that now I want to join a team that can win something. At the end of the day, yes, he played a great player for a club, but hey, I want to show these guys that I also want stuff, and that is what he's not been able to achieve with Tottenham Hotspur. So it'll be interesting. And he has laid down the marker, I want to leave. It will be interesting to see how to keep out the interest of the likes of Manchester City from this aspect down.
It's going to be very interesting to see that. Alfred Okoligwe, I want to thank you for your time as well on the show. Hopefully we'll do this again next week.
The pleasure is mine always. Thank you very much.
All right, so pleasure's all ours as well. Parting shot, I thought we were going to have time to talk about Djokovic and Stefanos Tsitsipas. Unfortunately, it appears we might not be. But, I mean, you have to, of course, pitch in as well. Harry Kane, good answers from Nuno Santo, but do you think they can keep him?
They will, because, if they can, they will, because the market is shrinking.
Okay.
There's only one team available for
City.
That's City. And they don't have the patience to wait for Harry Kane. They're already going for Lewandowski. So it's either he comes back from his break and force a transfer, or he stays at Spurs and he might not win anything next season. Wow. So the market is shrinking. Barcelona is not going to make any transfers. They're struggling.
Do you believe Nuno if Nuno says we're ambitious? What's different from now?
Nuno doesn't call the shots. It's Levy. They built a stadium. They have not paid for it. They are in debt. The COVID-19, they didn't get any fans into the stadium. So there's a problem in Tottenham Hotspur. They're not making.
So he's not the one that we should believe if he says they are ambitious.
Did you see how they went the circles to find a coach? Nuno wasn't even their first choice. They tried every other person. They even tried Gattuso. So it's Levy that caused the shots. Right. So the market is shrinking. Okay. It's only City that is available for Harry Kane. And if they waste time, they're going for Lewandowski.
Okay, all right. That's a good place to leave it, and that's a wrap on the show. Ikena, okay, Chikwe, I want to thank you.
Thank you very much.
It's always fun doing this with you. We'll get to do this again next week.
Yes, definitely.
All right. Thank you as well for allowing us to be a part of your day. I hope we've been able to set the tone for your weekend. We want you to enjoy your weekend. You see us again next week, and hopefully we have more interesting stories to talk about in the amazing world of sports. I'm Yemi Adebayo. Bye-bye now.